Okay. Whoop, microphone. Hey, everybody. Excellent. Long time no see. Sorry, one of my lights isn't working. It's because my new power strip that I bought just completely failed on me. And yeah, sorry for being late as well. Man. So I updated Wirecast, which is like the software I use for my streaming. And it magically decided that they wanted to update the pricing model with the new version without even warning me before to like quadruple my prices to be monthly instead of yearly. And I was just like, revert to old version. So I was trying to do all of that before the live stream. And yeah, a little frustrated about that. But yeah, oh well. First day back, had some hiccups. Okay, but we'll get through it. And thank you, Mr. Cole, for acknowledging the sound in the video. I appreciate that. You knew I was gonna ask. Okay. Flustered with hate it when I launched it this morning. And I was like, oh, I noticed there was an update. Oh, let me just update, and oh well. Lesson learned. No longer trust Telestream. Okay. Excellent. Let's see who else we got here. David's in the house. HealthShare Connections. Oh, Healthcare Connections. Is that you, David? Not sure who that is. Fran, nice to see you. Mr. Workman's in the house. Josh, excellent. Bill, thanks for popping in. Cool. Okay. Rian, thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. Hope you guys well, before I announce that, for those of you, I guess we'll announce it now. Just really quick, I just sent out an email, I don't know, like 30 minutes ago, that for those that are a part of the Total CMS 3 beta, I'm having an exclusive special hangout tomorrow. Okay, so if you're here, you didn't get that email, tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, all the details are in the email. Yeah, we're just going to go over the latest build and kind of do a beginning to end sort of tutorial on that and status of the beta and all that stuff. Okay, so, but that's all about that. Let's jump in and this one light thing it's like dramatic lighting. It seems like okay. But okay, let me go ahead and hopefully my screen is good. It looked like my screen didn't resize. My automation script broke. It didn't resize my screen. It failed me. Okay, well, hopefully things aren't too small for you guys. Okay. We're just gonna go ahead and let's just open up a brand spanking new project here. Okay. Brand spanking new project. And let me show you today's live stream was inspired by this post on the community by Ben earlier this month, or last month, I guess I should say. And it's a question that I get a lot. I want to put this text on top of an image. It's a pretty basic thing that a lot of people are going to want to do. So, and there is a ton of different ways you can do this. Okay. And so yeah, today we're going to jump through all of those possibilities. Okay. Some will be Foundation 6 specific ones. Some of them won't require Foundation 6 at all. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. I'm not going to implement each. Now I have some stacks that just kind of just do this out of the box, to be honest. Right. Yeah, should we go? Let's start with the non-Foundation 6, I guess, implementations and what we can do kind of out of the box. The simple stacks out there. Remember, any stacks that you see today that you're like, hey, that's a cool one. I don't have that. Summer sales going on right now. 24% off the entire store. No discount codes required. Just go ahead and check out and you get your discount applied at checkout. Okay. Let's start off. This screenshot that he posted here was one of our stacks. Let's go ahead and look at that. I think that is the filters demo. right? Let's just go by filters. Okay. I think this is on a filters demo. Voila. Yep, it is. So here's the filters demo. Yeah, well, let's bring up filters. Okay. And what is this? Oh, looks like the image in this project file is broken. Interesting. Look at that. All right. So actually, funny enough. Okay. This is filters. Okay. But let's look at what this is doing here. This is actually using multiple stacks. None of it requires Foundation 6, but let's go ahead and I'm going to copy this and paste it into this project file. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and add in an image. I think I have that. Here's the Golden Gate Bridge image. Oops. I need to open up the settings here. And let's just, it is a, we're going to turn off warehouse image and let's just drag and drop one in. Apparently that warehouse image URL does not work. And that is not what I wanted at all. Remove. Plop. Okay. There we go. Let's refresh. Okay. So obviously I had some styling on there. I think if I just add in site styles, probably it'll make that white. Again, this doesn't require site styles, but I'm just going to add it on the page because I am using Foundation 6. Okay. Voila. Okay. Oh, Foundation 1 stack sound. What am I using here? Oh, this image stack is a Foundation 1 image. Okay, here, let's just, this could be any image stack. Here, just for fun, we'll use the image stack for my free starter pack. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just going to chuck that image in there and use the same one. Boop. Delete. What else is in there? Target, Filter Pro. This header. Oh, it probably wasn't even that image stack. This header. Okay, it's just a header, but whatever. Okay, let's and this is what, an H3, I assume. Oh, an H1. Doesn't really matter. All right. And align center. All right. There we go. There, got rid of the error now. Okay. Oh, here. I'm going to cheat a little bit just so it's white. I'm going to put the alt class from Foundation that makes it white for us. Okay. So let's analyze this. Okay. Essentially, what is doing all of this? Okay. I do have a lot of stacks here, right? We have Filter Pro, we have wallpaper, I have a picture, and then I have text. Okay. Now, the Filter Pro and the wallpaper are just there for a fancy effect. Okay. Because the the real star of the show that's doing this is Target. Okay. Target is what is actually taking the text, okay, and putting it over an image. Now, this is a great example because just because you want to put text over an image, this is a great, really great example here, doesn't necessarily mean that you can or should, okay, because right now, this text is very difficult to read, right? Oh, did I lose my chat? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. So as you see here, that text is difficult to read, which is why in this particular demo, what I did was I did Filter Pro as well as wallpaper, and then I put the picture inside there. Now, what does all of that do? Okay, so here, let's go one at a time. So wallpaper adds a gradient. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is let's do. I'm going to delete that picture, okay? Just to kind of show you, this is what wallpaper does, right? It adds a nice gradient, okay? Now, let's put that picture back. So, but when I put a picture inside wallpaper, obviously the picture here removes, or it doesn't remove, but it covers the gradient. And then what Filter Pro does is it basically merges those two things, right? It merges the picture and the gradient together, so he just goes... Really cool. right? So it merges those things so we get that nice thing. Another thing that Filter Pro does, if you notice there's a nice blur, a Gaussian blur, Filter Pro does that for us as well, okay? But the magic here, so now that text is readable, okay? So that's important. Also, I mean, this whole trick with Filter Pro and wallpaper, it's a great trick for taking an image and then like intermixing the colors from your theme or your website, right? The colors you've chosen for your design and merging it all together, right? You can still see that if this was a website for something in San Francisco, you can recognize that that's the Golden Gate Bridge, right? But we've intermixed the colors from the site or from my design into it so that it's really cohesive, right? But the star here is Target. Let's talk about how Target works really briefly. Target it is the positioning tool. Okay, there are other ways to do it. There's a position swatch in Foundation 6. Okay, we're going to go over that later. But Target is definitely one of the easiest ways to accomplish this. Okay, I'm pretty sure actually you could do it out of the box. Here, just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and let's just do Target. Okay, where is it? Here it is. I'm going to put it above here. So we're going to create a new instance, and let's go ahead and I'm going to do. I'm just going to drag this image into there, and then for fun, we're just going to go ahead and find a new header. Okay, and I'm doing all of this with 0 settings, right? I haven't changed anything in Target. I haven't changed anything in the image or anything in the header. Let's see what happens. By default, out of the box, I know we go back to the thing where it's hard to read, okay, because it's the black text over a black and white image, but it did it for us right out of the box. Pretty cool, okay? Now, this image wasn't large enough to go full width, right? So, we could deal with that other ways, right? Or expanding the image out using not the image stack, but, using a better image stack like the one for my starter pack or something like that. But as you see, out of the box, doing nothing, Target does exactly what I wanted, okay? And inside Target, you can customize the position a little bit if you wanted it, up or down or left or right. You can do that. So basically here you can do like, you can pin it to the top. You can do all kinds of stuff. Target centered is the default, right? That is what most people want. Right? You can do custom positions. So you can say like, I want it vertical. I want it top, I don't know, 100 pixels from the top or something like that, right? And it is 100 pixels from the top. That then takes it to the left, and you can then tweak all that. Oops, sorry. And you could do like maybe horizontally centered, okay? And there you go. It's right up here. It's 100 pixels from the top, but horizontally centered, right? So you can customize if you want it down here on the bottom corner. Here, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do like bottom 20, and we'll do right 20, something like that, right? And there it goes. Oh, yeah, that would look good here. Let's go ahead and we'd have to use a different picture stack. Let's go ahead and use this picture stack. I'm gonna delete that, and let's go ahead and fully delete it, and let's add in that same image. I think that should, yeah, there you go. Okay, so there we go. Now that header is at the bottom corner. It's readable because it's not over this image, right? So there's another strategy is you can overlay text in a location of the image that doesn't have anything. Okay, so Target. I'm glad that demo used Target because it was, I think, the simplest way and the best way to do that. Okay, Target is one of my stacks. Yeah, I'm not going to go to the product page. You can go find Target. I think a lot of you, it's been around forever. It's one of my older stacks. That doesn't mean it's old. I actually redid it, I think a year ago or so, completely revamped it. Maybe it's 2 years ago. I don't know. Time flies. But yeah, it's a good stack, quality stack. Target. Okay. Let's go back to that original post just to make sure that with images. Okay, with Target positions. Okay. So yeah, let's go over those. Target and a position swatch. Actually, you know what? Before I dive into the position swatch, I just want to quickly go over a few stacks that I know kind of do this out of the box. Oops, and that is the wrong web page. Okay. And I'm not going to go ahead and do demos for them right now. Just really quick, you can see the demos on the site. Impact is definitely one. Okay. I'm not going to take the time to implement Impact right now. But if we just go to the demo, you'll see that Impact is great. Not only does it do image, it'll do slideshows. You can have the same text on top of every slide or different text on each slide. Impact is a really great stack. Okay, so definitely check out Impact. You don't have to have it full screen like this. Here it does video as well. You can have it only half the screen, or here, let's go ahead and where it is. If I go to layout, so like here's here's Impact where it only takes up at the very top. Here I'm overlaying this on top of this video file that I have, right? So there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. Okay. It also integrates with my screens stack. So you see here, it's adding video backgrounds and a slideshow of a video background to a screens web page here, which is pretty cool. So here it's just doing a slideshow of different images, and down here it's doing actual video, which is pretty cool. So Impact is, I think, one of the staples in the Weaver Space stack tool set. It's just a very high quality, good stack. If you need something like that, okay. It is probably the like header stack. If you wanted to say, like, if you wanted a header stack, this is the one to get. Okay, it really is great. Even if you have Foundation 6, I mean, this thing is just, it's quality. It's good. Integrates with Total CMS, does all kinds of stuff. High quality stack. Okay. A couple other simpler ones. Let's see. Actually, this one is pop up. Here we go. Here's another one. Actually, you know what? I was playing around with some ideas for this one to actually do a redo of this stack, to modernize it a little bit and add some really cool features. But this is another way of adding text on top of images, and having it little animation. Okay. Like this particular one, I think I added too much padding or something like that, so it didn't really work out too great in this. But as you see here, I like pop-up caption. I think it's really good. And yeah, I think pretty soon, sometime this year, I will do an upgrade for this. I want to completely revamp it because I think it's a useful stack. Okay, so check out pop-up caption now. And another one that does overlaying stuff is called Mask. Now Mask allows you to do, in my demo here, I have, image on top of text, but you can do text on top of, you could basically do anything on top of anything and animate them. Okay. So yeah, Mask is another good one. So here, these particular ones, if you're curious, I'm fading from one image to another. But as you see, you can also do image over text or text over an image. Okay. All right. Just really quick, let me just see. Those are the two that I wanted to show off: Impact, pop-up caption, and Mask. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, now we're gonna go. Let's dive into. Let's get back to that post. And I'm gonna show over some of the other things. So let's dive into how we already showed what we did with Target. Okay, and let's dive into how we can do this with a position swatch. Okay, so now we're diving into Foundation 6 realm. Okay, I'm just going to delete these. Don't need that file. Okay, so let's just do like a generic banner, and I'm going to do an image and then text laid over on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a container. Okay, so we're going to do a container. And I want this one to be full width. I'm just gonna do actually auto no wrapper. Okay. You can do full width too. It doesn't full width. I do not use gutter though. We don't want a gutter. Okay, because we want the image to go full width. All right. And let's go ahead and add a picture. Now, one thing that's really important with a position swatch, and it's on by default, but in a container, you need to make sure the position relative is turned on. Again, it's turned on by default, so you should be fine, unless you go ahead and turn that off. Then the demo I'm about to do might not work as you expect. Okay. Let's go ahead and add in an image. Let's add this black and white Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. And actually, you know what we're gonna do? Let's do the colored Golden Gate Bridge. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do the colored Golden Gate Bridge. Okay. Now, then we need a header. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my header below this. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and let's center that. Okay. And just to make it bigger, I'm just gonna make it an H1, just so it's nice and big. Okay. Before I do anything, let's just preview this really quick. Okay. So there I have my header and my image. Okay. I just wanted to make sure the image went full width, and it does. All right. So now let's go ahead and take this header and position it right there. Okay. So what we're gonna do is under general and site styles, we're gonna add a position swatch. Okay. And let's do center header. Okay, let's just call it center header. Okay. And what this is going to do is the position swatch. We want this to be, by default, it's going to do relative to browser. Okay, which if we preview this, okay, well, oh, I didn't add the class to anything. Let's go ahead and add that class to the header, just so you can kind of see. I'll teach you. We'll do a small, quick tutorial on the position swatch, just so you kind of learn some things about it. Because I know it eludes a lot of people. Okay, so position swatch. I've added that class to the header because this is the element that we want to position. Okay, now I haven't changed any settings in here yet. It is relative to browser. Let's see what that does. Okay. And that, oh, it doesn't do anything because I need to at least set top. Okay. Well, what we're going to do here is you can set units to be percentage or pixels. For right now, I'm going to do percentage. Okay. So we're going to do, I want this to be top 50%. Okay. So I want it to be 50% from the top. Okay. So let's preview that. And if you look there, my header is now 50% from the top. Now it is aligned left. If we wanted, we can go, I want this to be left 50%. Okay. And what you'll notice here is it's not necessarily centered. Now, what this is doing is it's relative to the browser window. Now, as I resize this, you'll notice that the text moves. Okay. Because it's currently set to be relative to the browser window. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, another thing that you might notice is this text is not centered in the browser window. Okay. What is centered is the top left corner of this. So how do we make it so the center of this is in the center? Well, that's what these two little center origin buttons are. By default, browsers will always position things by the top left corner. And what we want to do is we want to center this bad boy. So we're going to click on these two buttons because we want to center both horizontally and vertically. Now this is centered perfectly to the browser window. Okay? Because this is selected. Now I want to, if I click on this parent button, now it is positioned relative to its parent, which is that container that we created. Okay. Now watch, if I resize this browser, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't move anymore because it's not anchored to the browser. It's now anchored to this container. And it's only anchored to this container because we told it that it is position relative. What that means is we're telling this container, hey, you're going to be the parent of things inside of it if they ask to be positioned relative to you. Okay. So that's one of the responsibilities of this position relative setting and why it's on by default. Okay. So that was pretty simple, right? We have this header and yeah, it is positioned centered over this image. Now, what are some things that we can do? Okay. Earlier on, we used wallpaper and Filter Pro to kind of obfuscate the background and kind of make our text stand out a little bit. So what can we do in this case? Okay, in Foundation 6 world, there's a few things. You can use wallpaper and Filter Pro as well. They work here as well. Same exact solution. You can add a wallpaper, a picture into wallpaper, and you can use Filter Pro to blend it in. I'm not going to redo that. It's the same thing as in the Filter Pro project file. As you saw, I just copied and pasted that. But what are some other Foundation 6 things we can do? Some other options. So first off, let's go ahead and I'm going to make this white. So I'm just going to add the alt class to our header just to make the text white. Okay. And that helps, okay, but it's not great. Okay. What are some other things we could do? So there is a stack called Overlay BG. Okay. And what this does is it adds an overlay to an object or to a container. So I'm going to call this, we're going to call this page header. Okay. And I'm going to add this to the container. Okay. And it's been a while since I used this swatch, but we don't want this to be opacity 100. We're going to dial that down to be like 35 like that. Oops. We may need to put this on picture. All right, 1 second. What? Page header before. Why didn't that work? Oh, Z index. We don't want it to be 0. We want it to be 1. Oh, hold on. I think I had it on the container before, and that was the correct place, but the Z index was wrong. Give me a second here. See, look at that, guys. Even I flub up. All right, let's look at this. What am I doing wrong here? This container has a before. Oh, Z index is set to -1. That is not what I want. I thought I set that to be Z index of 1. That is weird. Ooh, maybe I found a bug. Did I break something, guys? Hold on 1 second. Look at that. The Z index is always set to 1. Look at that. Why is it being hard-coded to -1 in there? Okay. Well, oops, let me refresh. Let me make that quick little change here. Let's do, hold on. Content. Z index is -1. Why is that? Interesting. Because I set it to be 1 over here, and that should do it. Wow, look at that. Okay, I will look into this further. But if we look here, I'm just going to tweak this CSS a little bit here. Actually, here, I'll tweak it with a swatch so that we can permanently see it. So I can do Z index. We're going to do page header. We're going to target the before element, Z index 1, being important. There it goes. Okay. So let's look at this again. So this Z index swatch shouldn't be required. Okay. For some reason, this Z index setting in this swatch is not working properly. So interesting. But if we look at this, what it's done, here, I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit more transparent or opaque. If you see there, this adds an overlay between the background of the object and the content, right? And so, yeah, there we go. Obviously, you know, you can play around with the opacity to be what you like, okay? But adding even an opacity such as like 50% It really makes the text pop from the background. And let's do some other things. Like I really loved that blur effect that Filter Pro did. Okay, and if you knew, it's in, where is it? Components. Filter Pro has a swatch. Okay, and what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna target page header before. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to blur. Actually, no. I think we want this on the image, actually. Here, let's do page header IMG. Okay, just so, and we don't need that now. And we're gonna blur that by, let's do a little bit less. Let's do like 10. Yeah, let's see. There. Maybe that's a little, maybe too much blur, right? But as you see there, that kind of gives us a glass-like look a little bit, where, you know, we have that overlay on top of the blur effect, really makes things pop pretty well. I think a 10 pixel blur is probably a little bit too much, but yeah, let's reduce that a little bit. And actually, I'm wondering if here, I'm gonna try, what happens if I do that on the black, just for fun? If I add that to, I kind of did that fast. So if we look at this overlay BG, the selector for it is page header before. So if I want to apply other things to that, like I did this Z index, you can do page header and then you select the before pseudo element and you can target this exact overlay BG. Okay. If we do background screen, let's try that. No, that doesn't do it. That didn't do nothing. Let's try normal. Nope, didn't do nothing. All right, yeah, do it on the image. And there we go. Just do a little bit less. Yeah, cool. Yes. See, look, I mean, I developed all this stuff, right? But I mean, yeah, even me, sometimes, yeah, the settings go like, wait, do I have to do it like this or like this? And like, oh yeah. I mean, so yes, even I fumble through things sometimes. It is, hey, I'm human too, right? So I have to admit, even a lot of you guys know some of my stacks better than I do. Okay, and like sometimes you guys will implement something and I go, how in the hell did you do that? That's crazy, right? So anyway, very, very good. Okay, so this is one way. Okay, we did this with an image. Okay, I don't see any other questions about the implementation. But yeah, pretty simple. I think, I mean, I did some extra stuff here. I actually wasn't planning on doing, like the overlay background, which, yeah, I'll definitely fix that. That Z-index thing is a bug, should be fixed, okay? So that this Z-index swatch wasn't necessarily needed, okay? And Filter Pro's there for fun. Again, this Filter Pro swatch comes with the Filter Pro stack, so it doesn't come with Foundation 6. It just exists. You kind of get both, so that if you want to use them with Foundation 6, you can. So there we go. Okay. Let's talk about some other options that we have to accomplish text on top of an image. Okay. And this has to do with, instead of using an image, we're going to use background images. Okay. So in this particular implementation, we're using an image on the web page. Now, how is an image different than a background image? Well, to begin with, the image actually exists in the HTML, right? So that means it's indexable by Google. Some people think Google can also index background images. Probably not, I'll be honest. I think it definitely prioritizes image tags on a web page. So if you feel the need that you want this particular image to be indexed by Google because it's something that you feel needs to be indexed, then this might be the best approach for you. Okay. However, there are some simpler ways that we could potentially accomplish the same thing. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, okay, I copied and pasted. I'm going to hide this just for now so that this is hidden. All right. And we're going to redo this exact configuration on this container using a background image. Okay. Let's leave it up. All right. So here, what we're going to do is I have this container. Let's call this page header top. Okay. Just so we can differentiate them. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to add in a pen. We're going to move all of these here. And this is going to be image based demo. Okay. And let's add another pen in here. Okay. And it's going to be background. Come on. Background demo. Okay. So for the background demo, guess what we're going to have to add? We're going to use a background swatch. There we go. I guess actually, you know, before I do this the swatch way, you know what? Let's do it the easy way. Okay, I'm gonna call it. Well, I'll call it the stupid way. Okay. That's mean. I shouldn't call it the stupid way. Okay. The not quite as cool way. Let's call it that. We're gonna use my starter pack. Okay. Just because I think my starter pack is free. Go get it. Okay. You could do something very similar with the, oops, not those stacks, with the out of the box stacks. Okay. Fine. Okay. I'll use the out of box stacks. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to add a one column inside here. I'm going to add a background. We're going to add a background image. Okay. Here we'll use something different. I'm going to use this one. Okay. I don't want, let's see, tiling none. And I want the image to fill. Okay. And middle center is fine. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a header. Okay. I'm just gonna use this header. We're gonna plop that inside, and let's preview this really quick. What happened here? What's going on? What happened, Willis? Oh, I think one column stacks don't work too great inside Foundation 6. we're going to go back to my starter pack. Okay, really quick. Sorry. All right, we're going to go here, get a boop, boop, and we're going to go boop. In my starter pack, you can go ahead and do the same exact thing. All right, this should work inside Foundation 6. Image tiling, fill. All right, we're gonna do a new project file because none of us use those things in Foundation 6. We're gonna do themes. We're gonna do Reason because Reason's a nice theme. We'll do Reason Pro at least, and then I'm gonna go ahead and copy this over here, paste it in there, refresh. All right, so what we see here, all right, is I have a background image and I have my header, okay, but there's some funkiness here. This isn't big at all, okay. Oh, I should have done the one column example. Whatever. Container and a one column, I'll be honest, are pretty much the same thing. Container for my starter pack. So what we can do is I'm gonna add just a bunch of padding. Okay, you can actually 20 isn't gonna be enough, so we're just gonna raise it up. We're gonna do top and bottom. The important part here is the top and the bottom padding. I'm gonna do like 100, 100. Okay, and in my header we want to center that. Okay, and let's preview that. And oh, my header is not centered. Why is it not? Could be conflicting in this theme. But anyway, as you see here, header isn't centered. I'm not sure why. Alignment. Header isn't centered. Interesting. I'll look into that into the that should be there. Oh, this is a Foundation 6 header. Sorry, 1 second. Because I just copied it. And life would just be easier if we all used Foundation 6. Oh, so yeah. Okay, so now that we're going to make that an H1 alignment center. Okay, there we go. Look. Boom. There we go. I was using the Foundation 6 header. Why are H1s so small in this theme? Jesus. Okay. But as you see, it does work, right? I have my text over my column. Okay. And the height of this, you see, is just based off padding. Okay. Now what centers this is here. Let's do the bottom 20. Okay. Just so you can kind of see. What centers the header is just by having the same padding on the top and the bottom. Okay. So that's a good little trick to learn. If you want to just easily center something perfectly every time, just make sure the padding on the top and the bottom are the same. And if as long as it's the only content in that, it should be centered. Okay, cool little trick. Okay. So we're gonna do something similar, but with Foundation 6. Okay. So we're gonna add a background swatch. We're gonna call this BG demo. How about that? Okay, and then on this, I'm gonna call this BG demo. Okay. And in here, we're going to add in oops, not a color, an image. And let's add in that same image. Why not? Okay. So now we have an image. No tiling. There's all kinds of other more advanced positioning settings we're not going to play around with. Just keep it at that. And my header. Okay. And let's preview that. And what the F? What did I do here? I thought maybe my thing before. Look, guys, see, look, I'm stumbling even more. You guys are enjoying this. Oh, it's there. It's just. Oh, it's because that has a height of 0. Oh. It's because I've positioned on this header. Oh my goodness. That class was causing it to be, okay, I won't take the time to explain, but this class had the same class as this one, and it was set to like be positioned, and okay, unbelievable. There we go. So now I have, yeah, same problem that we had before in the earlier demo of a background image, but the height isn't very great, right? So we could either use utility classes on this bad boy. We can be like H:50 VH. Okay. And that will make the height 50%. But if you notice, that doesn't make this centered. What the heck's going on there, Joe? Okay. So there's a couple things you could do. Either you can use that padding trick that I showed you with the other container. Okay. Or we could do something a little different. Okay. And actually do these things a little bit different. I'm actually going to swap out the container for a 1 column. Okay. And because 1 column has a special feature that we need here. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all of these classes and I'm going to plop them into there. I'm going to move this header into there and delete the container. Okay. So now I have a 1 column instead. And let's just preview that. Okay. So here's my 1 column with my header there. Still 50%, but it's aligned at the top. Okay. So in the 1 column, we have awesome vertical alignment settings. So in here, you could just say vertically aligned to the middle and voila. Okay. The content of the 1 column is vertically aligned right in the middle. Okay. Again, if this height swatch or utility class kind of confused you, here, let's do it a different way. Right. So I can go ahead and add a height swatch, okay? And we're going to give it the same class as BG demo. And we're just do a simple height of, here, half the browser width, or half the browser height, I mean. Okay. And there we go. Pretty cool, right? Now, some other potential disadvantages of using a background image is it doesn't guarantee you're going to see your entire image, okay? Because the image itself is just applied to the background of your container or your column, okay? The background of your layout. So it's the size of the layout that matters. Here, I explicitly made the layout taller because, yeah, I wanted it to be a specific height, right? If I didn't have a height here, okay, let's remove that. And let's just add a bunch of text into here, okay? Oh, not that text stack. As you see here, I mean, again, horrible because you can't read the text, okay? But the height of this is based on the content, okay? But when I have just the header, there's not much content, right? Which is why I added the height swatch so that we have a static height and it's not based on the height of the content here. Rookie live streaming. Exactly. Okay. So any questions on background images? I think that's pretty straightforward. And you can do similar things to here. Let's take this overlay BG. Okay. If you wanted that similar effect that we had, let's do over here, there. And just to see it different, let's go ahead and make it like, oops. Here, let's do like blue. What? Man, sometimes that color picker drives me bonkers. There we go. So we're gonna do a blue at 50% and z-index. There we go. Oh, interesting. For this particular example, the index wasn't needed. I know why, but yeah, it's okay. There's still a bug that I'll have to fix with that. In this example, yeah, that z-index setting doesn't matter. The -1, which is the default, actually works in this case. Interesting, which is probably why I never solved that problem before. So there we go. I think probably you need to make that a little bit, maybe a little bit more, probably a darker blue as well. Make it a little bit darker just for fun. Yeah, see now the text is starting to... Now, other things you could do with the text, maybe add like a text shadow to it or something like that, which would then separate the text from the background, right? Here, let's, for fun while we're doing this, all right, let's go ahead and do a shadow swatch, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do bg-demo. I just want to target the H1 in there. So a little trick is I know I have an H1 inside BG demo, so I'm going to apply a shadow to the H1 that's inside BG demo. Okay. Quick little shortcut, just do space and then the element that you want. Okay. So we're going to just do a text shadow. And let's see how just the default shadow looks. Not bad. It's actually a little strong. I like more subtle shadows myself. Let's maybe increase the blur a little bit, maybe decrease the opacity. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Here, let's, I'm going to go ahead and do, just so we can kind of see the difference. Right. Did you see the difference there? Right. So I'm going to put this back to an H1. Right. So now there's no shadow. Like you see it just pops a little bit, you know? The whole point is, I mean, you might not even realize there's a shadow there, but it definitely makes it pop. Okay, so cool. I like that. Let me go back to that original post because that was kind of my chicken scratches. Let's see, a container with a column with a ton of padding. Okay, yep, I did that. An F6 column with the height, set the column, we did that. Oh, the next one, an aspect ratio swatch. Okay, so we talked about how you can, you know, on a container, you can just add a bunch of padding on the top and the bottom. Works great. Okay. If we use a column, we can then just use the vertical align middle. You can also use if you want it to be aligned on the bottom, you can do that too. Okay. Let's look at another example. Okay. Where instead of setting this to be a height, okay, I'm going to go ahead and add an aspect ratio. And let's just add BG demo here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to set an aspect ratio. The default is 16:9. If you notice, it also has the content align option set here as well. Okay. So if we do that, what this does is it makes sure that this particular container, let's preview it in the browser. This particular container is always, instead of being based on the height of the browser or a static height, it's an aspect ratio, right? So it's always going to be 16:9. So that could be really useful. Maybe you want like something like another popular one is like a 4:9, 4:3. Okay. Which is kind of like a, a more almost square, but a rectangle shape. Obviously, if you want a square, you could do 1:1. Oops. Okay. Just refresh that. So now it's going to be a square, right? So obviously for square, that works great for smaller devices, but it works really horrible on desktop because it's going to want to be as tall as it is wide. And that's really, really big. Okay. So if you like the square aspect ratio, other things that you could do is you can tie this to a media query and you can have multiple aspect ratios, right? So here for fun, let's say on small and medium, I want 1:1, okay? And then on, actually what you would do is here, you would just say all is square. And then what you could do is you could say on large plus or on large only, okay? You could then change it to, I don't know, let's do something drastically different, 16:9. Okay. So now on small and medium, it's going to be a square. Okay. And then once we get to large, it moves to 16:9. Oh, interesting. Look at that. Here. Maybe we need to do small and medium. I actually think it's small only. I think medium was too big for that. So here we're going to do medium and large. All right, so now we're 16:9, and once we get small, it goes square. Yeah, I like that. Boom. Sweet. Very cool. Any questions, guys? I think I covered all my use cases. I thought this was, hopefully you guys got a little bit out of it. Learned how to, how all the different ways we could position text on top of images. Did you know, just curious, in the chat, how many of the ways that I showed today did you know? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious. Let me know. Oh, are you guys behind? Anybody still with me? Oh, we still got 20 some odd viewers. How many? Oh, chat's quiet. 5. Oh, wow. You knew 5? That's pretty good. Oh, 2. Excellent. Interesting. Okay, cool. So it looks like some of you learned some stuff, and the others, hey, sometimes repetition is the king of mastery, right? And seeing something done again and again and again and again is a good thing, right? Actually, I was thinking, sometimes I feel like I'm running out of ideas for the live stream, and I'm like, oh, I've already done that. But you know what? It's okay. Who cares if I did a topic on something 4 years ago, right? Do it again. So yeah, you might see some stuff, recirculating a little bit. I'm also debating here. Let me know in the chat really quick as well. I'm debating on moving the live streams to like Monday instead of Wednesday. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Let me know. Doesn't matter. Monday versus Wednesday. Yeah, let me know. I think having it on Wednesday for me just kind of like breaks up the week a little bit. And I think having it, because I have Hangouts on Friday, maybe doing the live stream on Monday would kind of give me a solid, just, 3 days of, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of getting stuff done. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Hope everyone has a great week. Hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow on the Total CMS 3, private hangout. And the rest of you, hopefully I'll see you on Friday at the normal hangouts where everyone is invited. And we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Go out there and make something great. Oh, capitalize on that 24% off sale, right? Capitalize. If you see anything today that you liked, go out and get that. Take care, everyone. Have